Yeah, I know you guys can see. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna flip out. I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do. What's up, John? Workaholic, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I just figured I'd hop on stream to talk about this shit because I really don't want to do it repeatedly. And I had this like long, yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like a Tony, to be honest. Yes, getting the shit kicked out of it. Yeah. I'm gonna do everything I can to to keep my cool. I literally just sat here and I was literally like typing out this massive response, and I was like, it's fucking not worth it. It's just not worth it. I'll just get on and talk about it. I'll talk about it once, then we'll go from there. So let people funnel in so I don't have to repeat myself constantly, and we can just be done. Jared Ragefest? Not necessarily, but you know, we'll see what happens. Juno price bad? I don't know. I mean, you know, whatever. Price is not seen in a week. Fuck. It's just it's been such a fucking goat rodeo, man. It's just been such a fucking goat rodeo. I cannot believe it. What's up, Mayor? Mayor Razai? I mean, you know, it's... What's up with that? What's up with Netta? Juno's up with Netta, Kale. Like, that's what's going on, man. People have to look really, really hard at Netta to understand what it is. And when you have this type of shit going on, nobody's looking at Netta. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. So, you know. Shady, what's up, buddy? Yeah, give it another minute here, and then I'll kind of lay this out. We can talk about the markets for a second, too, but... yeah, Netta is liquid, Juno is not. Essentially, if you're like, oh, man, this is fucked, you can sell... your whole stack and not have to worry about an unbonding time. So that's probably what's up. But yeah, when you have this stuff going on with Juno, no one really gives a shit about Netta at this moment. Like, if the fate of the chain is at stake, then, you know, why worry about Netta, right? So anyway, I feel like we got probably enough people here that we can start talking about it. It was a pure shit show. I mean, the whole fucking thing is just completely run off the fucking rails, man. Like, It's so hard for me. Zed. So Zed is what caused me to stream. Because I was literally like typing up response to Zed. And I was like, should I do this? Should I not? And I was like, fuck it, I'll chop it. Here's, yeah, there's so much drama. You know what's funny is I've been checking the prop on my phone. I don't actually have the link to it. Somebody, please see if oh yeah, I do. Flashbang, everybody. Ew. What's funny is it still looks like it's gonna pass at this moment, right? So I'm not gonna pull it off. So sorry, you're gonna have to look a little bit harder. I can do this, I guess. So right now you got 55% yes, 20% no, 22% abstain. I imagine that the runway for the whale to move from abstain to no has just been given by Core 1. But it's been such a fucking goat rodeo that this is going to continue is real bad, right? Because it's just more time for pieces of shit like Sunny to troll, right? To just come in and sit on their fucking high horse and go, we never had any of these issues at Osmo, right? Like that's what really annoys me about this being extended, because there's going to be additional time, additional adjudication, additional narratives to be drummed up. And it's really annoying. So here now we just got like another burst of people. So I'll talk about it now. A moment ago or an hour ago or whatever it is, the Core 1 team said this: we as Core 1 sincerely ask the Juno community to downvote Prop 16. Text of the proposal was rushed. Parts do not reflect core principles that Juno holds dear. After a period of gathering more information and consulting with the community, we hope to craft a fresh proposal with more context and alternative ways to solve the Genesis bug. A large majority is backing Prop 16, but many in that majority do not agree with the radical step to forcefully manipulate the sanctity of a private address. We will continue to engage the community on this issue and search for constructive solutions to this problem. Okay. So this is funny too. Can we know where you consulted the community? By consulted the community means they read comments, right? Like that's how they consulted the community, which is fine. Yeah, I think it's a great statement, but now 15 hours before the vote ends, like there might not be enough time. Because like this is flashbang, fuck. I mean, 15.5, is it going down anymore? 15.50, like it's a lot of wood to chop. They consulted with both mobs. So what are my thoughts on this? I personally am not going to change my vote, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. If you want to change yours, I am not going to be like, and fuck you for changing yours. But let me tell you why I'm not going to change mine. Because what I feel is essentially happening right now is, let's say a person is murdered on camera, okay? And you get like a clear view of the person's face, and like he happens to be wearing a fucking name tag that's like, you know, Joe Smith. All right, Joe Smith looking into the camera, killing someone, right? And everyone's like, man, fucking Joe Smith definitely did this. Joe Smith definitely committed this murder. And anybody who watches the video was like, that's definitely Joe Smith. He's wearing a fucking name tag. And like, look, the clothes he was wearing were at his house. Like, he definitely did it. But then, like, when the indictment came down, there were like, and like he killed him with a knife. Let's say he killed him with a knife. But when the indictment came down, the indictment was like Joe Smith strangled him to death. But everybody had seen Joe kill the like person with a knife. And so they're going, well, fuck. Fuck, we shouldn't have said killed him with a knife. We should have said strangled him. So mistrial. I'll see you guys again in 6 months. Okay, like that. That's essentially what happened. So it's like giving someone a mistrial because the indictment was written incorrectly. It doesn't mean they're innocent. It just means that the indictment was written wrong, okay? In fact, I would argue that as this shit is going on, what CCN has admitted to is worse. It's fucking worse. Because, yeah, OJ did it. Like, exactly right. Because they were like, yeah, so we're kind of like Binance, all right? We're kind of like Binance. We have a bunch of people's shit. Like, this essentially is like if Binance, I think, is the largest Atom holder, okay? Like, right now, I think so. I'll have to pull up off screen, see if I can grab it. Let me see if I can see who the largest individual holder of Atom is as an entity. And then I'll pull this full circle for you. Cosmos Hub. Binance is number 2, okay, with 10,347,000 Atom, okay. So let's divide that real quick. 10,347,135 divided by 50,000 equals 206 wallets. 206 wallets. How many did CCN have? They had 50, okay? So you're taking an entity that is 1/4 the size of the largest fucking centralized exchange in the world and being like, yeah, that's fucked up that you did that. But like, seriously, think about that. It was a 50,000 max per wallet. It's exactly what they did. They split the shit out, 50,000 each, right? Or they had it in 50 different wallets. It gets to 2.5 million. So like, where does it end? All right, that's my point. So even if you split up everything that Binance has right now, which is among like what they're doing, right? Essentially what they're doing is depositing Atom that other people paid for and staking it to earn a yield and then paying it back out, right? It'd be 206 wallets. CCN did it with 50 wallets, and that led them into $100 million of Juno, which now less because it's gone down to $12 or $13 or whatever it is. But that's essentially what we're talking about. So yeah, he didn't kill him with, they didn't kill him via strangulation. They killed him with a knife, but the indictment says strangulation. Therefore we should redo the proposal. Like, that's essentially how I'm going to call this. And so, no, I'm not changing my vote. If they want to do something after this vote passes and these people are no longer sitting there holding their unjust Juno, then sure. Yeah, I mean, Iron Lurk says, can't they just use the community pool as escrow? Sure. Sure. I mean, like, they can do a lot of things like that. So this is all very annoying to me. Because this is in no way an exoneration of CCN, but it's going to read like a victory and just prolong this shit. At the end of the day, they should not have gotten anything. They're 1/4 the size of Binance. They're 1/4 the size of Binance. And that's who we're advocating for on Twitter. That's who Sunny Aggarwal is advocating for on Twitter. I don't know about you guys, but fuck Binance. And FTX, I love Sam. And Bybit, everybody, okay? This is why I'm not sponsored by anyone. I can say whatever I want. Right? But Binance was excluded, guys. Binance was excluded from the Juno drop because of this exactly. So is Binance going to be like, yo, what the fuck? We were staking just like everybody else. Where's our piece? We want retroactive drop. Right? Like, what's to stop that from happening? Not fair. Let Binance in. We should start that, man. If CCN gets in, we should let Binance in. Like, what are we talking about here? So, yeah, I don't know if Core 1 has the weight to shift this. I'll go back, flashbang myself real quick. See where we are. We're at 55.5. Yeah, still about the same. 55.49. I don't know if they have enough to do it. Chef PR, you're not wrong, okay? So you're not wrong. Chef PR 200 says, I get all the drama, but I don't get the bearishness. This is just a blip in the bigger picture. Price is holding very strong considering and bond percentage has not moved a lot. It's moved a little, has moved a lot. Also, this is showing how involved the Juno community is. When this is all said and done, everyone will know what Juno is. Bullish. Okay. You're not wrong. Okay. You're not wrong. If they can find an amicable solution to this, that's great. But in my opinion, the amicable solution is fuck CCN. They should not only not get 50,000 Juno, they should get 0. Because they purposely spread out their wallets to maximize these sort of opportunities. Now, did they know it was going to be a rocket ship like Juno was? No. They got lucky. So the assertion that it was gamed is the issue, right? Like the prop is gamed airdrop. Well, they've pretty substantially proven that it was not gamed in that regard. Like they didn't have inside information. They did not, do anything untoward to get this specific airdrop, okay? They did not do this to get this specific airdrop or Osmo's specific airdrop, right? Like they did not. And I'm readily admit that I was wrong. I thought they gamed it before. As information has come out, I have amended my view. So no, they did not game this specifically for the Juno and Osmo drop. But if you listen to my interview with Jack last week, the Q&A when we talked about this, I think that was whenever that was Friday, Thursday, I don't know, whatever the fuck that was. He said, no, essentially what Juno and Osmo both did was they took the Stargate snapshot when, the Stargate upgrade happened and just used that. So fine, that works great. And it just so happens they had spread this out into 50 different wallets. They're saying for security purposes, maybe. As someone who's gotten hacked, like I understand that. I also have no problem admitting to you guys, like I have split up transactions and shit into different wallets to game airdrops. Sometimes purposely, sometimes not by purpose. Like I got multiple allocations on the Uniswap airdrop because I had used separate wallets. And so I just got the whole allocation on Uniswap a couple times. I was like, I didn't go back running to be like, yo, my bad, you guys gave me too much money. Like, no, I took that. And like, that's what people do. Okay, like you can't say that that's not what people do. It is. But that's not what happened. So I think initially a lot of people were like, that's fucked up. To be like, yo, one guy who just happens to be a whale split out 50 different wallets and they split it out into one guy split it out into 50 different wallets. Then after they got their drop, they consolidated it into one. Okay. The interesting part is why did they move it all to one wallet? And I have a theory on that. I have a theory on why they moved it all to one wallet. What do you guys think? because I have a pretty good idea why they did it. Purely speculative, but I'll lay out why I feel that way. Why do you think they moved it all to one wallet? Took it for himself, didn't tell anyone, because they wanted to hide it from their customers. That's exactly right. It's exactly right. Because I'm sure that there are some statements that CCN gives out. Okay? If you look at what CCN actually does, one, they're predatory, okay? They look for people that are a little bit older. They don't, they look for people that aren't necessarily crypto literate, right? So they look for people that aren't necessarily crypto literate, a little bit older. I have this great return on investment for you. If you looked at just what the staking revenue for Atom was at the time, it was still double-digit percentages. I think it still is now. Isn't it like 13% or some shit like that? Hold on, I gotta find it. Fuck, I don't know. What's the current APR on? Nope, not trying to do that. On Cosmos specifically. Does anyone know? $16%, 15.59%. Yeah, 15.59%. So that's now. Okay, this was years ago. By the way, Karcher, you won the competition with 2 other people. I'm giving you all $200. So DM me afterward. I'll get you. Right? So essentially, rather than giving $500 to one person, I'm giving $200 to 3, and you're one of them. So I owe you $200. Hit me up. Good job. So yeah, essentially the yield is, yeah, for sure, dude. Good job. I appreciate your taking that contest seriously. Okay. So they were 15% now, but back then it was a lot more. It was like 18, 20, 25, 28%. And they knew that Atom had a good thing going. So you get a bunch of people that don't understand crypto to come in and say, yes, I'll give my money to you. I'm going to make X amount percentage per year, and you'll be able to take money out whenever you want. You can earn this yield. So these guys get people who don't really know crypto to give them their money. Also, if you look at what people are saying on Twitter, these guys take a 30% fee on deposit. I'm going to give you $100. Immediately it's 70. That's our fee. And whenever you withdraw, we take a 10% fee. So if all you did was deposit and then immediately withdraw, you deposit $100, you'd withdraw $63. Okay? You deposit $100, and if you wanted to withdraw it the next day, you withdraw $63. That's CCN for you. All right? And they're a centralized exchange. So what were they doing? Yes, we got these yields for you. The yields are great. You should check them out. Come in here. It's amazing. Keep adding money into it. It's only going to keep coming. They never spoke about airdrops to these fucking people. You can see that apparently they did disclose to a couple large clients that there were airdrops, maybe people that weren't quite as dumb as everybody else. But yeah, so they didn't even disclose that it happened. So why did they move it all the way to one wallet? So people wouldn't fucking know. They took it all for themselves. Oh no, well, we wanted to manage it for them. Then why'd you have 50 wallets to begin with, man? It's kind of a genius plan, right? I'm gonna take so we said there are 2.5 million Atom. 2.5 million Atom, and we're gonna split it up into 50 different wallets. We know there's airdrops coming. Even if all we did was immediately market sell those airdrops when we got them, it would boost our yield so we can go back to our client base and say, hey, we promised you 16%. You actually got 22%. How many friends do you got? Let's keep going, right? That's a fucking brilliant business plan, isn't it? Like, who wouldn't sign up for that? What's a savings account right now in the USA? Like 1%? You're literally losing 6% year over year because of inflation, 8% year over year, depending on what you read. Pretty good business model. All you gotta do is put shit in something that you think has good long-term upside and wait for the airdrops. Like, good for those guys. That said, they're fucking guilty, man. Like, they are a centralized exchange. They're a centralized exchange. They split their 2.5 million Atom into 50 different wallets for the purposes of airdrops and didn't disclose who they were. If you look at the tweets that CCN or whatever the fuck this Tamagotchi guy said that he was talking to Wolf, and you go back and forth, you can actually see that, like, it's never asserted that they're a centralized exchange. What's going back and forth is they're talking about being like a hedge fund, which is what Wolf said. And that's an interesting gray area, okay? Because there's a shitload of you know, funds that participate in this shit. And like, funds are okay, but that's not the same as taking like a tremendous amount of staked assets and spreading them out into different wallets for the purposes of gaming airdrops and not disclosing who you are. Do you want to know what Binance's validator is called for Atom? It's called Binance staking. Not really being evasive on that, were they? Yeah, it's called Binance. It's called Binance. All right. So to put a bow on this, I assume this is not going to pass because Core One said that it shouldn't. To me, that's like there was a typo on an indictment for murder, and because of the typo, we got to keep moving, right? No. Your boy says if they distributed the airdrop to their clients after, would it have been cool? Abso-fucking-lutely not. No. No. The point was centralized exchanges aren't included. Literally, Juno is the chain of decentralization. It's the whole reason it fucking exists. It's the whole reason why I like it. They didn't take on VCs. They didn't take on outside investment. They essentially funded this shit themselves. So no, abso-fucking-lutely not. It's not okay. If they had sent that shit out, it goes against the point of the whole goddamn thing. And they didn't. Right? So if this does not pass, it will be because of a technicality. But make no mistake, it's fucked up what they did. They clearly disguised what they were doing. You can't prove that they were stealing from their clients, but they were definitely stealing from their clients, if you look at it. So, you know, maybe we got to go to a Prop 17, but like, at this point, Sonny has to be absolutely smashing his clown at this. Like, that absolute opportunistic scumbag, man. Like, he did everything short of being like, we don't do anything this fucked up on Osmo. And by the way, there's like pretty significant evidence that exists that like they knew about this entity and didn't do anything about it, and like because Sonny's a fucking wuss is why they didn't. Ow. Anyway, so what's gonna happen? I don't know. It's all so tiresome. We just need to get through this. Like, quite frankly, like, so somebody came in, Metro Boom said, interesting to see how prices reacted through all this. Break of support when yes seemed likely, bounce off support when the narrative switched, or the market just doesn't like the court scene influencing governance decisions. Maybe. So Karcher, I agree. No. This is not insurmountable. Guys, they fucking rolled back Bitcoin, okay? They rolled back Bitcoin when they fucked up inflation right away. Okay, nobody talks about that. Okay? Ethereum, like, the code is law opportunist pieces of shit out there, which Sonny's one of them, that come out and just say, code is law, bro. Code is law. Whatever it is, it is. Okay, so are you one of those people that was like, I think the fucking Ethereum DAO hacker should have kept 15% of supply? Because, like, yeah, it's fucked up what he did, but at the same time, man, it was in the code. The code is law. All they did was find it first. They should get that money. Right. So, yeah, code is law and governance is adjudication of the fucking law, but only in ways that we find palatable, and screw you otherwise. Like, the people that came out absolutely hotter than hell about, I guess anybody's funds can be seized at any time now. We're just purely opportunistic. Sorry, I got to go back. There's a lot more comments today than usual, so let me go back. First off, John, I still find it very concerning that the whale has JP in his Twitter name. My theory is that JP is a Japanese spy. Well, JP stands for Japan. They're Japanese. My opinion at this point, passing 16 and then using Prop 17 to reallocate as needed seems like the best decision. Put the funds in escrow while the info can be investigated. Sure, I'm 100% on board with that. I'm 100% on board with that. Pass 16. Move the funds into something else. Don't put it in the community fund yet. Keep it over on the side. Then they can create whatever case they want. And I'm happy to hear them out. Bring as much empirical evidence that you can. And let's hear it out. Don't you think? Bring as much empirical evidence that you can. Let's have a conversation around it. And I am happy to do that. Okay. Nibbler says, in your opinion, is this a stand that will never leave Juno? Absolutely not. Brian D says, Sonny is a bad faith actor. Yep, in my opinion, Sonny is an absolute piece of shit. He's an opportunist. It has made me rethink everything about Osmo if that scumbag is in charge. Okay? I think Sonny used this to absolutely score points for Osmo, and he's a fucking scumbag for doing it. And yes, I'm being very aggressive right now. I'm sorry if that triggers you. However, look at like his first couple of tweets. His first couple of tweets were, boy, I'm sure glad that Osmo has Cosmwasm now. Hum, 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 hum. Like seriously, those were his first fucking tweets, was being an opportunist. Like, I'm not saying that you didn't have a ground to stand on, just the manner in which he voiced his opinion was, I'll tell you what, Osmo looks pretty nice. You should come over here. Fuck you. Okay? That's just a shitty way to act. You can just tell he's a trash human being. You can just tell that Sonny Agrawal is a trash human being. Okay? And fuck that guy. Can you dissent? Sure. There's plenty of my friends, plenty of you in here disagree with me. Okay? I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong and having a conversation, but to be that big of an opportunistic piece of shit in a difficult situation that the team of Juno is trying to do correctly, okay? Putting it out to the team. Do you know why this proposal didn't have all the details in it? Because the whale didn't give out the details until it looked like they were about to lose $100 million. Okay, so yeah, the details weren't fucking out yet. But you know who wasn't volunteering the information? The whale. So it took something like this to pull all of the information out. Well, dude, it wasn't completely accurate. Okay, fuck you. But again, for somebody like Sonny to take this track to be like, I'll just fucking use this for my gain, I think is an absolute grade A piece of shit move. And look, I will say this personally, I have unstaked and I have unbonded everything that I have on Osmo because fuck that guy. That's me personally. I encourage you to do the same, but at the end of the day, you got to make money. So if you're making money on Osmo, do you? That said, I have a choice on where I'm going to support, and it's not going to be Osmo, and it's specifically because of that scumbag. Okay? If he leaves the team, I'll go right back. I don't think that's happening though. And again, this is not because he had a dissenting opinion. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay? Perfectly fine with that. Plenty of people have. Just the manner in which he did it is one of the most low-class things that I've seen in crypto, and that dude should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself. He should apologize to everyone for being a piece of shit and try to do better. And I hope he fucking sees this. Ah. Juno is so early. Code is law. Governance is what? Code is law leads to fucked up science experiments. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. CS Sully, is this making you think differently of Juno? No. No, I'm just annoyed. Okay, I'm just annoyed. Has the flop made you lose confidence in Core One? No, because I understand why they're doing it. Okay, like I understand why they're doing it. And by the way, you know who's a part of Core One? Wolf of the Juno team. There's like, and I don't know if I'm getting this right. I know Camel's here. He may have had to leave, but like, there's like the Juno team. There's the Core One team. Part of the Juno team is on Core One, but not all of Core One is on Juno. Okay, so like, there's a lot of shit going on there. As far as I know, Wolf hasn't said anything yet. But I understand why they said what they said, because new information has come out. But make no mistake, this was not a rash decision made by the Juno team to try to seize someone's assets. The person was being evasive. The person was not coming forth with their information because they know at the end of the day, they're a centralized exchange, which should have been excluded to begin with. Okay? Which should have been excluded to begin with, but they didn't. So it took the first one. It took the first one to get them to come forward. Okay, fine. I personally am not changing my vote on Prop 16. I hope Prop 16 carries. We take their money, we set it aside. Then they can pull forth every piece of evidence they want, and it's on them to prove with impunity they've done the right thing. Yeah, Chester, I'm not done yet. I'll get to it in a second here, man. So that's how I feel that this should go. Yeah, Camel, okay, exactly. So Camel's saying what I'm saying. The people have complained that the new information, which was discovered later on, was not included in the proposal. Well, no shit. It was discovered later on. As the address in question did not come forward before the proposal, so they want to redo the proposal. I will not change my vote. Right, exactly right. Exactly right. I think Prop 16 should pass. If you want a Prop 17 where the burden is on them to come forward and prove what they did when they did it with impunity, I'm here for that. I'm 100% here for that. Okay? Has to be aggressive with Raw coming soon. Scummy Sonny. Yeah, that was scummy. Sonny wants war so bad. Sonny's a piece of shit. I added that part. Sonny does this at every opportunity. He has fudded Adam, Juno, Evmos, Gravity Dex. He'll do it at any chance he gets. Like, why is this dude even close to being up on a pedestal? Okay? Why is this dude even close to being up on a pedestal? Clearly, he's very smart, and he's clearly a piece of shit. Okay? He's clearly a piece of shit. So we sell our Osmo for Juno? I don't think it's a bad idea. Has the flop made you lose confidence Core 1? No, because I understand why they did it. I still think Prop 16 should pass, though. Would be nice if Wolf came back on Twitter. Nah, man, I don't want Wolf to come back on Twitter. That dude has poured so much into this project. Like, he needs to be away from it. He said he's still voting yes. Perfect, okay? Regardless of the final result, Prop 16 was successful. You know what, Mayor? You're right. And not a lot of people are going to talk about that, because the point of this was, yeah, regardless of the, this is what flushed the information out. Banu, nice. Didn't know that. So yeah, obviously I'm on here, so I didn't know he's on Twitter. But again, pass Prop 16. Get their destiny out of their hands completely, and let's have another one. Let's have another one. But I will feel better as an investor knowing that these people aren't making $250,000, $300,000 a day that they should not be getting. That's what they're currently getting right now. Again, they're a quarter the size of Binance in terms of Atom Holdings. A quarter the size of Binance. This is who we're fighting for. It forced them to prove they're a decentralized entity. What's your opinion on Juno Swap, Future, Raw, etc.? Well, I mean, I'm never using Osmo ever again, so, My opinion on Juno Swap is, yeah. Wolf tweeted he's voting yes. Wolf's back on Twitter. Wolf came back to say fuck the whale. Mao. What's Wolf's Wolf contract? Somebody link his Twitter, please. Only holding Osmo for the airdrop. 100%. And look, I love Osmo. I'm going to be completely honest with you. All right. Osmo has done a great job having an interface for the interchain. They have. It's the best I've seen. Okay. So there isn't really an alternative yet. Hopefully Juno Swap will be that alternative. But I will say, even with what I just told you, I am willing to never touch Osmo again as long as Sunny's attached to the project. Dude is completely morally bankrupt. He's an opportunist. He's a scumbag. Wolf contract, I'm back. Prop number 16. Personal vote, still yes. SG1 vote, still yes. Good night. $sign Juno. Good. Yeah, Zed, I'm not joking, dude. But that's the thing. Juno is in beta. And by the way, there's a lot of people working. There are a lot of people working on Juno Swap. Juno Swap's going to be amazing too. Just make no mistake that Sunny is being an opportunist, and that's fucked up. To take the situation, like it'd be like this. This is my final thing. Okay, my final thing. Then we'll talk about the market. If you live in a neighborhood and your neighbor's house is on fire, there's a couple things you can do. You can grab a bucket and help. You can call the authorities. Or you stay at home. Right? Unless you're Sunny Agrawal. Then you walk outside and you talk shit to other neighbors whose houses are on fire about how fucking dumb the house that's on fire is. For allowing themselves to be caught on fire. Like, that's essentially what Sunny is doing. Going, oh man, their house on fire? You know what house has never been on fire? Mine. You should come check out over here. Yeah, Sunny pulled up the live stream cam during the fire and started narrating how if he were in charge of that house, it wouldn't have caught on fire. Right? Just pure garbage human moves. Pure garbage human moves. Anyway. And you know what? Sunny is welcome to come on this show and talk as much as he wants. Sunny is welcome to come on this show and talk and defend his piece of shitness as much as he wants. So Karchu says, does Sunny have some particular history with Juno team, or is he just a dick? I think he's just a dick. I think he's greedy as fuck too. I think he's outrageously greedy. I think he's an opportunist. I think he wants Osmo to take over the world, and anything that's a threat will piss him off. Because again, like, remember, this is the same guy that was like beating the war drums about having to make Atom, the token, change its name to Gaia. Because he's like, well, it's a little disingenuous because like Atom's the interchain, but like Gaia is the hub that you're talking about, and they get all the pub when there's other things within the system. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Just shut up. No, dude, Osmo is sick, okay? I love using Osmo. Like, I can't sit here and be like, fuck Osmo, it sucks. It's really nice. So how about we spend some more time with Juno helping them get to where it needs to be, because it's really nice. It is really, really fucking nice. All right. Let's talk really quickly about the market, because honestly, all I wanted to do was talk about Juno, but since I'm here, I'm here. If you have more questions on Juno, shoot them in the chat. Like, I'm not going to shy away today, and let's just go over where things are with the market right now, okay? And then we can just kind of keep rolling. So just to be clear, my issue is not with Osmosis. If anybody is here from Osmosis, my issue is not with you. Unless your name's Sunny, then my issue is with you, and you're a sack of shit human. So I don't know. Would you call this 5? Would you call this 5? I don't know if I'd call this 5 or not, because we had this pump, this like mini pump on Bitcoin where we ripped up to 42.5. I thought we were going to get back here and possibly break through. We didn't. We came back down. But I'll tell you what, man, like this continues to hold because, yeah, we got like a drop down and close below. And if you guys were paying attention last night, the reason why this breakdown on Bitcoin happened last night was because the news came out that China and Russia were talking. That Russia was like, hey, China, man, we need some help. And that caused this sell-off. And it happened to be through the daily close. It happened to be through the daily close. When cooler heads prevailed and they were like, I mean, that'd be pretty stupid. If they were to do that, it ripped right back up again. Okay. So you can see that like there's definitely some selling down here, but they should have been able to take this out by now. If it closes now, it's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, above this line to me is fine. Okay, so it's this angled line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there were plenty of wicks down here already. It just hadn't closed. It just so happened that the news yesterday with Russia and China happened like right before the close. All right. By the way, so Kale says, do we think the price for Juno will take a long time to recover after Prop 16 FUD is over? I personally, no, okay, I don't, because the things that made me love Juno to begin with are still true. Okay, do you understand that if this had happened on any other token, on any other chain, that this would probably have a decimal point moved over by now? It would be like $3 instead of $33 if this was on any other chain. Because there still is no opposition party for Juno. There isn't, okay? The only people that are selling Juno are people that had to come in and buy Juno to begin with, right? There's no like VCs or anybody else sitting there that is like, oh God, well, this is fucked up. I'm gonna unload my position and lock in my profits. That does not exist here. The tokenomics are so good. This APR and inflation for year one are so good that it is still very much plus EV on Juno long term. It's still very much plus EV on Juno long term. So if there's an amicable solution to this, there's still no opposition party. And look, I would be saying like, so I forget who asked that. Kale, if this number had dropped significantly from all this shit, when all this shit started, then I would have answered this question differently. How much has it even dropped? Can we even, I don't actually know. I never know if this fucking works, but essentially, yeah, so it dropped maybe 1%, maybe 0.5%. So like even the people who have the majority of Juno have not unstaked their Juno. So what's happening now is people who were thinking about buying Juno or people that are getting yield are probably not restaking right now. Okay? They're probably not restaking right now. I would guess that they're probably, yeah, it's not a lagging indicator. Okay, yeah, so right. This bonded ratio changes after people click they want to unbond, not after it finishes. So it is live. It is live. So I'm guessing that people are not restaking while this is happening. I'm guessing that people are selling to UST. I'm just like, that's all that's happening right now. So yeah, less than 1% of total bonded supply has come down since all this shit began. So is it going to take a long time for Juno to recover? No. Yeah, bonded ratio is nearly at all-time high. We may have got, it was either 38.6 or 39.5. It was somewhere in there. So at worst, again, my memory's dog shit. At worst, it was down like 1%, right? So, you know, whatever. Assuming this reaches its appropriate conclusion, I am still very, very bullish on Juno. So no, I'm not worried about that yet. And that's what made this so unique to begin with. This is why my brain triggered when this was under $10 to be like, who the fuck's selling this? And you know who sold initially on Juno? Airdroppers. That first run to like 15 or 13 or wherever it was, the market took a shit. And people that weren't committed to Juno, they just happened to get an airdrop. You know what they did? They fucking sold. They're all gone. They're all gone. So, market, real quick. And then I'm going to ride out. Is this a fifth touch? I don't know. This didn't really get high enough. Pretty weird that we had literally, I mean, look at this. Down, up, down, up. Down, halfway up, down. I mean, this has been the worst trading conditions to trade for Bitcoin there possibly could be. It literally sucks. I will say that I have a long position open right now, about right here, because I'm like, I mean, they're not selling it like crazy. I got an easy invalidation under the low. To me, it's worth the punt, and that's just me being bored because, you know, Juno's been on fire, and I'm waiting for the fire to be put out. Want to do something to occupy my brain, but I still think we probably see the high side of this. Not to mention, if you look at the S&P 500, right? Like, it's still just kind of hanging out around this key level. And really, the biggest area of support on the S&P... Where the fuck's my drawing bar, man? Oh, there it is. If you hang out... If you look at this area, like, there's a decent amount of activity right in here where this is stopped. So, we haven't given it up over there yet. The NQ actually had a decent bid today, and then it turned around completely. But again, you have this pretty significant area of support that it's hitting into right now. Just 100x long, thanks to the financial advice. Nope. Did not. Did not give. Your decisions are your own. The most interesting development since the last time that I talked is this, because I did not expect there to be any sort of fight in Ethereum at this level, and there is. There's a decent amount of fight right now in Ethereum at this level. So, like, it's holding up amidst some pretty bad news, still holding this 0.065. Do I think it's going to hold forever? Probably not. But it's good to see that there's been a bid come in a little bit here on Ethereum. So that gives me a little bit of optimism. And yeah, like, now we're just playing the waiting game. But remember, guys and gals, hold on. I'm going to flashbang everybody again. You ready? I turned it off. Wednesday, noon. Fed interest rate, FOMC on Wednesday. You're going to get the Fed on Wednesday at noon. Central time, I think, is what I have this on. UTC 6. I think I'm 5 now. 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true because we just sprung forward this weekend. It was brutal. Yeah, so I think you're gonna get a bunch of games and shit between now and then. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday, whatever. I'm going to the NCAA tournament on Thursday, so you know, hopefully it's worked out by then. And I think we'll get a rip up to the highs. I do, if it doesn't break down. What honestly, like, the year-over-year inflation last week hit estimates. It was 7.9 was estimated. They went with 7.9. Yeah, I usually drop. Oh, flashbang. Fuck. You know what, Karcher? I have not even filled out a bracket yet. But you know what we should do? Let's do a bracket in Stack Labs. Would you guys do that? Or would it be like me and 4 other Americans and the rest of you guys would be like, ha, no. Would you guys be down or not? Bracket challenge, Stack Labs bracket challenge. If you want to get in, yeah, see, there you go. Join the Telegram if you're not already in there. I'll post a link. We'll do a Stack Labs bracket challenge. And I'll throw some scratch to the winner just for fun. So join the Telegram and we'll do a Stack Labs bracket challenge. And go from there. What's bracket challenge? So right now is NCAA March Madness. It's a tournament of 68 teams, and you can see, like, if they win, who they'd play next. So you essentially go through and you pick the winners of all this tournament all the way down to the final winner. So it starts with 68 teams. You only really guess the 64. So it's essentially 8, 16, 24. So it's 32 games you got to pick, or 30. Yeah, no, 32 initial games for round 1. And then it goes from there. It's college basketball. It's a big deal in the United States, not really a big deal anywhere else. But it's fun as hell to watch. It's really fun to bet on. So I'll get that posted here in a little bit. By the way, I noticed this earlier. Adam just kind of holding this trend line. So there's a lot of things that support. The interesting thing about where we are now, and then we'll kind of wrap up. If anybody has any more Juno questions, drop them in there, and I'll happily answer them. Is FTM the new serum? I haven't even looked, man. Oh God. Yeah, that's not great. It does appear that FTM is the new serum. Yep, that looks accurate. I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so Adam is actually holding this pretty well. So what I was going to say was, the interesting thing about the market is that everyone is kind of left going like, well, fuck, I don't really know. Because it's not that everyone doesn't acknowledge the weakness in the market. There's not a single person who looks at this gigantic bear flag and doesn't go, this looks like shit. But you know what? Shorting the lows is never a great idea. So you're left there with this, like, things look bad, but at the same time, am I that asshole who shorts the lows? No. Maybe not. Like, shorting the lows is very rarely a good idea. You short up here, maybe you hedge here, but like actively taking a short position down here, pretty damn stupid. So it leaves a lot of people just kind of sitting on their hands waiting. And if you look at like the way over the past few days, where like you literally could get a transaction through on Ethereum for like $4 for the first time in 2 years, and some other shit, like it's just literally, let's sit around and wait. So yes, it looks bad, but I'm not actively taking positions short. In my opinion, the play is long here with stops. That's why I'm long right now on Bitcoin, because do I think Bitcoin looks amazing and it's going to break up to new highs? Fuck no. But I'm not in the habit of shorting support. Shorting support, longing resistance. Pretty good ways to go broke. Pretty good ways to go broke. So you either long here or you long a breakout of resistance. If not, you just hang on. You don't short here. You could short a breakdown, like way breakdown. But, you know, that's not too great either. So my long-winded way of saying the weather's getting warmer, at least most parts of the United States. I'd take up a hobby, maybe pick up golf, get back to playing basketball or something, because it's going to be pretty shitty for a while. Yeah, Nibbler, exactly right. Dude, that's such a great fucking point. Literally, since the highs, we've literally been able to be like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm earning crazy yield on Juno, and it continues to appreciate in price. So as all this carnage was happening in Bitcoin, we were like, yeah, well, fuck you. That sucks. You should have joined us on Juno when it was $10. Which again, it's still 30, whatever, 33, 33. But, you know, that said, whatever. Hopefully we get a rip through and we can actually continue this, because this is still a series of higher lows. We just don't have the higher highs. Sorry, Karcher said, holding their breath, waiting for the shoe to drop, watching the ETH NFT market come back to life after for 24, then cool off again. Kind of makes me think the second we hit a couple bull candles, people will start piling in. I agree, Karcher. I think a lot of people actually really want to get long, but things just look like shit everywhere. Like legitimately look like garbage. Gold, can't decide what it's doing. Always a good time. It makes me happy because Peter Schiff's an asshole. But it is on the precipice of doing something super dirty. Silver doing all right. Same deal. I mean, these are both incredibly great long-term, high time frame charts that should have tremendous moves. We just sit around waiting for it to happen. Sorry, bro. Got to go. BitBoys Live. Oh boy. Will you enjoy that? Thank you for coming in. If you're being serious, if you're being ironic, it's a funny joke. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Any other questions before I sign off? Because I was not really planning on doing this. I just figured I'd give you my hot take and the moments at hand. Yeah, like it's hard to like. Why would you short Solana here? You just wouldn't. Like, yeah, do I think this breaks down? Probably. Is it actually at resistance or support for the first time in a long time? Yeah, it is. It's like really hard to short there. Oh yeah, dude, Jasper, there's a shitload of them, man. Come into the Stack Labs chat. Yeah, I know. I have Drone on there. Come into the Stack Labs chat. If somebody has the link, give them the link. But there's a shitload of them all the time. Where is it? I don't know. Just so you know, guys, mark your calendars. 200 days, 12 hours, 18 minutes, 55 seconds until Juno halves. So, you know, we still got 200 days of pretty great rewards if you don't think Juno's going anywhere, which I don't think it is. I'm just annoyed. I know I got angry there in the middle. I apologize for that. I should do better. I'm not sorry about being angry about Sunny because that dude sucks. Mega balls. He does. Guy sucks. Garbage human. Am I going to get into Evmos when it finally launches? I mean, yeah, I have like 3 or 4 wallets that have 1.1 or 1100 Evmos. So, I mean, I'll fuck around with that. I just really am not like that interested in bringing an EVM to Cosmos. Personally. But if they do something cool, I'll do it. You got 20? Yeah, I think I got like a little over 3,500. So, but I was hardcore DJing on multiple wallets back when it happened. Yeah, boy, what about Raw? Yeah, so Raw, my understanding is it will be happening in the near future. If I were Juno, I would line that up with the resolution to this bitch. I would not release that while the middle of a proposal is going on because it's gonna get shit on. So when things get to a positive place, whatever. But I'm pretty sure they're close. I'm pretty sure they're close-ish, right? Within a fortnight, within a couple of weeks. What EVM is or does. So EVM is Ethereum Virtual Machine. It's essentially how the chain is able to read and interact with smart contracts. Okay, it's essentially the application layer of Ethereum. It's the application layer of Ethereum. That's what the EVM is. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna leave this beautiful chart up here, or this beautiful countdown up here on the halving, just for I don't know, shits and giggles. I think it's pretty funny. But as always, started from the bottom, now we here. Juno has been very good to a lot of us. It will continue to be very good to all of us. You have to get out there. You got to vote. Vote what you want to do. Don't vote yes because I'm voting yes. Don't vote no because Core 1 is saying no. Do what you think is right. Join the Stack Labs Telegram room, and we'll get our bracket challenge going. Yeah, of course. I did better than I thought I was going to do. In terms of like keeping my anger. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Thanks, Nib. See you guys in the chat.